Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, I am Aprilani, Ravivi, Anisa, Firdaus from 12 IPA 2. Now I will explain about finite and non-finite clause. Have you ever heard about them before? Let me explain this. Well, finite clause is tense. Tense means that the verb in the finite clause is influenced by the tense. It can be present tense, past tense, etc. Finite clause is also the verb is influenced by the subject. For example, for the present tense, I eat an apple. While for the subject she eats an apple. Another example, I know that you met your old friend. The words know and met can vary depending on the tense. Suppose we use the past tense, I knew that you had met your old friends. Well, that is the characteristic of a finite clause. Then plural or singular, it also affects the verb in the finite clause. For example, the book is interesting. If there are many books, the books are interesting. The non-finite clause is also known as tenseless. Why is tenseless? Because the non-finite clause is not affected by the tense in the main clause. So, non-finite clause is a subordinate clause or a dependent clause which cannot stand alone. For example, I want to eat an apple. The word to eat an apple is a non-finite clause which is not influenced by the subject, and the verb in the sentence is not affected by its tense. Another example, I need a teacher to check my work. The sentence to check my work is not a tense. It is a dependent clause which cannot stand alone. There are three types of non-finite clause. Let's look at the example of each type. First, two infinitive clause. Two infinitive clauses are easy to recognize because they have an infinitive verb form the following two. Example, I am very happy to help others. The word to help others is infinitive clause with to followed by the infinitive verb form help. Second, imparticiple clause or present participle clause. It is easy to recognize imparticiple verb forms always and in ing. They can occur in finite clauses after a tense verb. He is or was arriving home very late. However, in imparticiple clauses, which are non-finite clause, there is no tense verb before the participle. Arriving home very late. My mother is very angry. This is an imparticiple clause, also called present participle clause, with ing participle verb form arriving. Third, ed participle clause or past participle clause. To recognize ed participle clauses, we need to remember that an ed participle form does not always end in ed. This is because some verbs are irregular. Example of irregular ed participle clause occurs in the following. The pills are or were taken 3 times a day. In the example, the ed participle occurs in a finite clause after a tense verb are or were. But in ed participle clauses, which are non-finite, there is no tense verb before the participle. Here is an example. Taken 3 times a day, these pills should clear the rash. This is an ed participle verb from taken. I think it's enough. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.